It's very relieving because it's a David versus Goliath story with me.
Well, guess what? David is winning.
A dream, if you tell me this before we start. Nobody could believe it, but we need to keep going.
Juan Pedro Benali is spearheading the NorthEast revolution. And on this episode of In the Stands, he shares exactly how he's doing that.
I don't know him personally, because without knowing me, what he said, ISL coaches don't work enough. Wow, you touch me.
Touched a nerve over there.
Nerve, you know. Ooh, like a wolf's.
Juan Pedro Benali, कैसे हो आप?
Spanish,
Spanish.
Arabic, French, English, Italian, Portuguese, Japanese, and German. It's okay. I'm okay. Fine.
He caught on to
But
it.
बहुत गरम है. तंता पानी लेके आना.
Oh my God, that is fluent. लाइए लाइए, हम भी थोड़ा पानी पी लेते हैं. थोड़ा सा. Little bit.
Thank you. Cheers.
So in the spirit of getting to know you, I'm told that you're called the Lion of Sahara.
No, I was born in the Sahara because my father used to be a military. And,
In the military?
Yeah. I know, since I'm 12, 13, they start to call me, I don't know why, lion, lion, lion. When you're young, you know what I mean? You take it when you're a child, you take it as in the bad way. But slowly, you start understanding that you can take advantage of it. My grandfather was also a general in the army, and they didn't let me to be in the army.
What?
They said you always have a boss. And with my character, it's very difficult to have a boss. I started as a professional manager in 1998.
How did you get into management?
Very lucky, by luck.
Were you
By
ever a
luck.
player?
I used to play in the juniors of Real Madrid.
Which team do you support?
NorthEast.
Sure, of course, NorthEast.
I'm Real Madrid fan.
Oh, you're a
I'm Real
Madridista.
Madrid fan. I'm Madridista. Normal, I was in that house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Madridista.
Well, we'll come to that in a
And
bit.
anti-Barca.
Anti-Barca.
I'm more anti-Barca than Real Madrid. My story is different. My story was totally different. I went to do I was, I think 14, 15. And I went to Barcelona to do test. And trained first day. Second day we did a friendly game. I remember against a team, against Dam team. I remember it like yesterday. I scored 2 goals and gave assists. And I went with my uncle. I was very, very happy. Wow. Next day meeting in the office, Barca office. I'm sorry, son. You will never be a player. Imagine to tell a young boy, 14 years old, you will never be a football player. And I didn't understand why. I still don't understand why.
Right.
And frustrated. It was very, very tough for me.
Yeah.
Thanks God, 1 month later I was in Real Madrid. Then I went to Elche, went to Hércules Alicante. Before they loaned me 1 year in Segunda B in Jupiter, Barcelona. Came back, playing first division,
What position did you play?
striker.
Oh, okay.
I went to do the tests with 21 years old to play for Coventry
Oh.
in the Premier League.
Oh, they were a Premier League side at
In
that
that
time.
side, in that year. And they found out that they have a big problem, bone problem in my knees. And they said, you cannot play.
Okay.
It's impossible. I said, joking. It's only they don't want me. They give in this excuse. That was in pre-season, in the beginning, the first week of July. Went back. I was in Elche. Went back, started the pre-season, started to play. And in one day we were going to travel, just want to go to the bus. And my knee get blocked. Not even the training, nothing. That was my last day. And then one day, by luck, I was enrolled by somebody into the coaching courses. And that time I was
Who was this person?
Mr. Arrigosaki.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Wow.
And
I'm so glad I asked you that question. You wouldn't have told
I was 25 years old. Then when Arrigosaki came to Atletico Madrid, I was with them for 3-4 months in Atletico Madrid. He left in February. I was not with Atletico Madrid, I was with him more. And then Claudio Ranieri came.
Right. Oh, the Tinker Man.
Yeah, Claudio came. He called me, I start with him. In that time I start analysis a little bit. And the current didn't go between him and me. I was young, 2 months later, the president of a Moroccan football team was in Spain. I met him by luck. And next day I was coaching first division in Morocco in 1999.
And they believed that you had the technical ability and know-how to...
I don't know what he believed. I don't know what he believed, but he thought that. We sit for 2-3 days talking and everything. He said, "You're my coach."
What is the motivation behind being isolated over here in Guwahati, trying to lead a band of boys that have immense potential?
Managing it's poison. It's a kind of drug. There's some people that cannot live without coffee. Some people cannot live without soft drink. Some people cannot live without social media. And my drug is football, people. And because I'm not with my son, my kids are here. Let's go out of my comfort zone. And it was great. Tough in the beginning. I remember the first week I wanted to go back home. It was very tough.
Like my first week in college.
It's a little bit like this.
Outside of school.
But in the beginning I was saying, how can I convince the foreign players or Indian players to come here?
How do you do it?
I don't know.
I heard that you also, for example, brought in a culture of the players staying together and eating together. That never used to happen before.
Before to come here, of course I was calling players, calling coaches, calling people who came here. I used to call people and they were telling me that Indian players used to live somewhere, foreign players somewhere else, each one make his life, whatever. And with Mandar and John, we decided that no more. It was very tough for the guys who were here in the beginning to work, to look for apartments and to look for what we want. And we said, listen, we need the cafeteria, we need to have breakfast together before training, we need to have lunch together, we need to have dinner sometimes, we need to make a group and to make everyone feel that there's no difference between the head coach and the lady who cleans or the gentleman who cut the grass. There's no difference, we're the same. Our aim is to make NorthEast as big as possible.
If you were to compare it to any of the setups you've been at before, just for an Indian football fan to know the level of
much
play.
better than Morocco, much better than Greece,
Okay.
as professional work.
Okay.
Morocco, they have great players, fantastic people working, but they start to have a lot of infrastructure, start to have the last 8-10 years. But the administrations and everything is a disaster. The football association works very well, but the clubs, only few clubs who are really professional.
I believe you'd said something along the lines of, in Morocco,
Yeah.
we have the clowns but not the circus.
The circus, and here we have the circus, we need the clowns.
Could you expand
What I
on
want
that?
to say, yeah, it's easy. Morocco, you have players in every corner. You have, each city has 5-10 teams.
Right.
First division, second division, third division, fourth division, fifth division, sixth division. Young players, each team from sixth division has under 18, under 17, under 15, under 14. Here you want to look for players. What you look? I-League? That's it. There's no reserve team championship. Every single week, for example, we play in Goa. It would be great to play reserve team against Goa before or after. Now, I receive many messages from fans and I respect it. They say to you, take this one out and bring. From where? How? Player has a contract. We're not, it's not playing a game. Football manager, change this one or play that one.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
We don't think about that. We only think next game. We see the bottle half full. You see it half empty. We get selfish and we need to play for the team, not for us.
But it's tough because in the end you're alone. In the end you're alone and you need to pay that frustration with somebody. And somebody is the nearest people I have, my staff and my players. This is why sometimes I get angry and all the stuff, but the poor guys, they're not their mistake, it's my mistake.
Absolutely livid. Juan Pedro Benali expects more. It's like a very angry father screaming at the kids to do better. And it's not just Jitin. Everyone gets a lecture. You might be a star, you might be the captain, you might be the top scorer in the ISL. No one was spared.
Juan, I was going to come to that later,
Yeah.
but since you brought it up,
You allow me to put the
Of
glasses
course,
because
please.
I'm allergic to,
I'm going to
light.
I'm going to join you. You're allergic to light, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Should we move it to
No,
the
no,
shade
no,
in a
no.
bit?
It's okay.
You sure?
Perfect.
Okay, so that's the two of us
Yeah,
now. huh?
perfect. Yeah.
It's good for the camera. Good for the cameras. I was going to come to that later, but since you brought it up yourself right now, on the touchline, you're one of the most animated coaches that we have in the Indian Super League. We saw you extremely animated after the last game, in particular.
Against Mohammedan.
Mohammedan.
Against Mohammedan. Yes.
Against Mohammedan,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I've been very curious to know, how do you maintain that balance of being harsh with players, but also perhaps not wanting to cross the line where they might almost in a way feel angry at you, or feel
Against
like it was unfair?
Mohammedan, I crossed the line.
You feel so?
Yeah. I did a big mistake.
I mean, cameras caught it.
I did a big
everyone
mistake.
saw it.
I did a big mistake.
Why do you
It's
think
not a good behavior of a coach, of a father, of a friend, of a mentor, of a brother, the way I behaved. It's not good at all.
so? But do
I
you think-
apologize to the players. I
Okay.
apologize to the club,
Okay.
you know,
That's
and I
big
apologize to
coming
the
from
fans.
from a person in power. That's a big.
You know, no, I apologized and I said, but I will not change. If I need to shout again, I will shout to you. But it was not the, it's not the manner.
Do you think it was justified though, because of the performance?
There's nothing justified to behave like that. Nothing justified my behavior that day. I could manage it in a different way.
But
Never.
you're self-aware, which is good.
No, of course. Listen, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, I will not say that. You know, I would be more selfish, the ego, whatever. But with my age now, and all the way in the road, I have nothing to lose. I must tell the truth. And I told the truth, and I went player by player. Some players, they were angry with me. But when I spoke to them and I said, listen, don't forget, I'm a human being too. I'm alone here. I spend all the day working. When I go home, I still work. I don't go out. I live at 300 meters from the stadium. Go home, back, game, frustration. And in the end, I want them to be the best. They're my kids. I want the players to be in NorthEast or somewhere else to be the best. I need to squeeze them to take all the juice from them. Absolutely all the juice. And sometimes when I see they still have juice, they didn't give it, I get frustrated. But my behavior is not an excuse for that. And sometimes, you know, the law of the stick and carrot. You cannot hug him all the time, you cannot slap him all the time. You need to be like when you have an egg in the hand. If you squeeze it, you splash it. If you leave it, it will fall down. You need to have it this. And that time, I squeezed it too much. And it could get broken. But thanks God, they were fantastic kids.
Tell us the Alaaeddine Ajaraie story, Juan Pedro, because he's come in and he's on course to smash all goal scoring records in the ISL this
I
season.
remember Alaaeddine, he was playing in Berkane. And when I went to Berkane, to manage Berkane, just left to other team, to Mass Fest. And I was mad. And when I spoke to the management of the club, no, he's not a good person, he's not a good player.
Not a good person,
Yeah, well, it's normal.
right? Is that something
It
that
was
clubs
some
look
issue between them. I don't know exactly what it was, payment or something. I don't know. He went to Mass Fest. We were in second position, and Mass Fest was down. We want to play against them there. He killed us. He destroyed us.
at? You were like, damn it. You could have been on my
I went to
team.
him and said, why you didn't stay with us? And last season, in the pre-season, Mandar and me, I just were talking, watching many players. And suddenly I said, listen, who's the player? he looks like Kun Agüero. But for me, one of the smartest guys. Let's talk to him. He said he was your player before. I said no. But
Could have been.
he could be. I spoke to him many times. And then we called him.
Did you call him?
I called him.
Okay.
Yeah, I called him. And I spoke to his agent. But I spoke to him direct. And he was playing in Qatar.
And you had the advantage of speaking the
Arabic
same
with
language?
him, yeah, no problem. And he knows me very well. Yeah, a lot of players, they respect me a lot in Morocco. And he said, Coach, I'm sorry, I just give my word. He didn't sign. I give my word to FAR Rabat in Morocco. It's one of the biggest teams in Morocco. I said, come on, he said, Coach, do you want me to do for you if I give you my word and I go somewhere else? And that, I kept it in my mind. I said, wow. He's a man. And he went to FAR Rabat. And this pre-season, we were looking to many players. And suddenly Mandar asked me, he said, you remember that one?
So I was trying to tell Juan, believe me that he will do well. And he's like that Tevez and Agüero kind of a player who's relentless. He'll just come at you.
I said, yeah. He said, why you don't call him? I said, it's true.
It's been a year.
Yeah, it's true. Let me talk to him. And I spoke to him. And FAR Rabat was tough because there are many players in his position, and the coach was there. He likes to change a lot. And I spoke to him, and we were lucky because Ali Bamammar and especially Hamza Regragui played with him, with his friend. And he spoke to them, and they spoke highly about NorthEast, about Guwahati, about how we do the things here and everything. I spoke to him and he said, Coach, send me the contract. I said, what's the agent? He said, no, I want the club to look for an agent for me. I know you're straightforward.
And his contract with FAR Rabat was about to get
He
over?
went to them and said, please, I want my papers, I want to leave. And he came here. And the truth, I didn't think he would do all this. But he's Alaaeddine Ajaraie.
That's what people say when if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah, of course. I always say, I learned it when I was very young. I was in love with a girl and I was 13 years old.
Right.
And I was afraid to talk to her. And my father said, go talk to her. Papa, no, impossible. I said, why? She would say no to me. I said, and now? She always saying no. Try. And it was yes.
Alaaeddine! And what about that? Ajaraie! Alaaeddine Ajaraie!
He's very humble. He scores, maximum striker, but in the same time, he goes, thank you for working, thank you for defending, thank you for giving me the ball. You're making me.
He goes and expresses this.
Yeah, to everyone. Thank you for making me what I am. And that has no price. That's priceless.
Yeah, of course. Especially with the Indian players, because we saw him
Oh,
speaking with the Indian players as
He's totally with the Indian players.
well. What is it like for you, Juan, with the Indian players?
Indian player has quality. The problem is the decision when to use that quality.
How do you build that?
Making mistakes, let him make mistakes. Don't show him the way in the beginning. Let him make a mistake. It's like when you have your children. No, it's hot. No, it's hot. No, it's hot. When he will know it's hot, what's the feeling?
Yeah.
Get burned. It's the same.
When you see the Indian national team play, Juan, what do you see and what do you observe as a manager when you're seeing the national team play, and as someone who's seeing these same Indian players play week in, week out for different ISL clubs? What are you observing when you see the Indian national team play?
I think they have too much pressure. Everybody wants the result very quick. That's not good.
But is that always not going to be the case with international football? There will always be.
Give them time. I don't ask my child to run before to learn how to walk. Just trust them. They will give you everything. I can see they are, how can I, tight. They are
the same players.
Same players.
Who play a different way for the ISL club.
in their team. They just play. They know what they're doing. No problem.
Right.
When they go with national team, need to prove themselves. They don't need to prove themselves. Play.
Right. Of course, last season with Igor Štimac in charge, you'd gone on and clarified this as well later and said that you didn't mean to have anything personal with Igor over there.
I don't know him personally.
You don't know him personally, but there was some anger towards him for what he said, for what he observed ISL clubs doing, and said that they were not doing enough for their clubs, and then when they came to the national team, they weren't up to the level. And you said, of course, come and watch what we're doing. It's easy to...
You know, I worked in the national team. And my job was to sit with coaches, to ask what fitness they did, how is the player. Just talk like we're talking you and me. You know, what it cannot happen is you have 3 days, 5 days to work tactic, psychology.
Right.
And when the player goes there, 5 days you kill him running. Why? Because you're not working fitness in your club. Maybe he's right. But did you ask me what we did?
Right.
Did you ask the fitness coach? What you cannot do is take your fitness coach or your assistant coach to call a player for a club and tell him, this is the work you must do in the gym every single day. After the training, you must do this and that and that and that. Maybe it's fantastic, yes, but talk to the fitness coach and the coach before. You don't know what they're working. Maybe in today training, I killed my players and he need to go to the gym more instead to rest. You know, there was no relation between national team coach and the coaches.
So how is it with Manolo now?
Fantastic.
It's different?
Yeah, we speak time to time. He asked me about some players. He explained me what is his philosophy. And we need to give him time.
Right.
He knows very well. He watches all the games. But I'm sure when he finished with Goa, he become 100% national team coach. He'll be traveling all around.
Yeah.
That's what we should do, kilometers. Go into trainings, sitting with coaches, watching games. This is national team. National team coach is not 5 days training or 3 days training with FIFA window.
Right. Right.
This is why I was a little bit upset with because without knowing me, I don't know the other coaches. But he said, ISL coaches don't work enough. Wow, you touch me.
You touched a nerve over there.
No, you know, you don't know me.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't call me to say, welcome to the ISL, welcome to India, please. Never.
Let's establish a relationship. Let's
Never.
get in contact.
He never invite for a lunch or dinner all the coaches and sit with them and listen, I want to play like this, please. If you think something, tell me.
Right.
You're my scouts in
Right.
the team. Make a relationship. We're all here for the good of India football.
Yeah, yeah. I hope you achieve what you've set out to achieve.
No.
No?
No, sky is the limit.
Right,
No, never. We're talking about hunger.
right,
Still hungry. I want more.
right.
If I'm the one who said we achieved, what the players will say, what the fans will say. No. I have Mandara and John pushing me all the time. No. More. We want more.
And what's your message to the fans for the rest of the season?
We'll make them proud all the time. Even if we don't win, we give everything.
Look, these guys would want you to be at the club for many more years. You had a 1+1 year contract.
We renewed for 1+1.
Right.
If we go to playoff, it's automatically renewed.
Right. Will you consider staying on for a year more?
For now I'm here.
Right.
I'm happy. This is my home. I feel home. I feel I'm with my really family. And you know what happens in family sometimes. They're angry with you, sometimes you're angry with them. You know, this is family. They want me to stay. They're trying to make another contract to stay more time. We're discussing, we're talking. I'm open and they're open. But for now, I'm here. And I don't think somewhere else.
Right.
My head, my body, my soul is here. I'm a wolf And of course, I cannot think somewhere else.
And you can't think you're the next game.
It's only exists is the game.
Well, Juan Pedro, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Pleasure.
On In the Stands.
Pleasure.
All the best for the next game, and the game after that, and the game after that,
We
and
hope
the
so.
game after that.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a bunch.
Thanks a lot. And I tell you the truth, it was a very long holidays. I was bored. I need to come back to work. This is the problem with football. You stop for some days and you missed it, you need to come back.
I think you're addicted. You're
Yeah.
properly
Totally addicted. Totally addicted.